Welcome back to Last Night I Watched. I'm your host, Carlos, and I got my buddy Roman here with me. What's up, Rome?
Good morning, Carlos idiot.
Oh yeah.
And we got Ian over here. What's
Hey
up,
guys. Good to be here as always.
Ian? Yes, sir.
Talk about wrestling. Talking about wrestling here today.
Yeah. Today we're watching Ready to Rumble, starring David Arquette and Scott Caan as two wrestling fans who are trying to redeem their fallen hero, Jimmy the King, played by Oliver Platt. We see cameos from WCW wrestlers. Goldberg, Diamond Dallas Page is in there. Sting towards the end. This is a blast from the past comedy from the year 2000, the far off year of 2000.
Yeah.
Directed by Brian Robbins. Little stats for you guys. IMDb gave this one a 5 out of 10
Wow.
stars.
That's solid 5.
Well, 5.3.
Oh, okay.
I guess we could give it the
Okay.
0.3. Why
Yeah,
not?
yeah, you gotta give those extra
Need to.
3.3 points.
I think Roger Ebert gave it 2 stars out of 4.
Which I think because we just talked about that surprised me. I thought he would have given it like a 1.
Yeah,
He's like, can I even rate this?
Yeah, one of those. Yeah,
The budget was $24 million to create it,
it's a lot of money.
and it grossed worldwide $12 million.
Yeah, I
So
read that. That's
Yikes.
that's bad.
Yeah,
That's pretty bad.
It did not make its money
Oh.
back. It made half of the money.
I can't believe it's only $12 million. Like that's wow.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder if that counts for like DVD sales and stuff.
No, I think it's just the ticket sales.
Okay.
I'm sure it probably made more money on
Yeah,
video.
I'm sure eventually made its
Yeah.
money back.
So, guys, let's get ready to rumble.
Sting is helping Jimmy King. Can you believe this?
Jimmy King's all right by me. You love Jimmy King. I love Jimmy King. We're men, but we're not afraid to say that we love other men. I love you.
Me too, man. Hit me, my turn.
Okay, so guys, I gotta admit something. The whole reason that I even started this podcast with you guys was to trick people into watching this movie, Ready to Rumble.
Nice.
Because through my whole life, I think I watched this when I was like 6 or 7. Through my whole life, whenever I make references like WWKD, what would King do?
Yeah, yeah.
Or Sal Bandini, wanna wrestle?
Yeah, that was
Nobody ever gets the references.
I think one of the first times you and I talked, not one of the first times, but it was like early on when I first met you. You brought this up,
really?
and I don't remember why. Maybe I was on the subject of wrestling or something.
Yeah.
And I know of it. I just had never seen it, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, nobody I know has ever seen it. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's a great comedy, you guys.
Maybe because it's maybe the wrestling turns people off. Maybe
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the fact that it's revolved around wrestling.
Not a lot of
Yeah.
wrestling fans that I have
Yeah.
met.
Well,
I guess
again,
it's not so popular here, or I don't know, maybe.
Although
maybe it is.
I suppose I do have some pretty hardcore wrestling fan friends.
and I think this was the peak of wrestling fandom. You know, the late 90s, early 2000s. It really died off, I feel like, as the 2000s went along.
Yeah, definitely.
Plus WCW, right, goes out of business like a year after this is out.
Yeah,
so-
they got bought by WWF, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I believe that's why this movie was created. I heard that it was created to promote the WCW.
Yeah, it kind of feels like a big WCW commercial at times.
Yeah,
You know?
it comes out
Yeah.
in 2000, and then the following year, 2001, they
They're
go under,
kaput.
and like Ian said, they
Yep.
get bought out.
They're kaput.
So then, so I don't know much about wrestling and stuff. Do those characters that are all in this movie, all the wrestlers, do they just go under WWF now?
They did, and it was weird. They had to wait. A lot of the wrestlers had to wait a year due to contracts, and they basically got paid to like just not do anything that one year. And then they, in 2002, a lot of them came in, but like a lot of like Booker T came in right away. Diamond Dallas Page, I think, came in WWF right away. A few dudes like came in like right then and there, but some just got to just do nothing for a year and then come in
sounds nice.
eventually.
And you said they were bought up by WWE?
Or yeah, F at the time. It was
Oh.
like I think the year after, or maybe 2 years after, they changed to WWE. But
Oh,
I always call them WWF because that's what I had. The video games I had all had WWF on it. That's how I remember WWE.
My girlfriend said that they had to change because the World Wildlife Fund actually
Yeah,
sued
they
them for
yeah,
WWF.
and they won. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny. my buddy and I, we were watching a documentary about like the mid 2000s WWE, and they talk about that, and they say, well, you know, we just thought entertainment was better suited for our business. It's like, no, you guys got sued. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, I guess they just didn't want to. Maybe they just find it embarrassing that they got sued by the World Wildlife Fund.
Yeah, maybe.
It's so funny. Wrestling people are goofy people.
Well, that's all part of the business, right? Is
Yeah.
The illusion and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
exactly. Yeah. Right.
What is it called? Like kayfabe?
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
Okay,
Yeah, because they
Kayfabe.
break kayfabe. There's all these weird ass name or like terms like like if you're a baby face, you're a good guy.
Right.
If you're a heel, you're a bad guy. If you break kayfabe, it means like you're breaking off from the storyline and it's not real. It's real. Like in the first match, they break kayfabe by like actually beating up Jimmy King.
Oh, okay, going off script,
Yeah, that's
essentially.
breaking kayfabe.
I see.
Huh.
I
weird
thought
ass
it was
shit.
more about like basically showing that wrestling is not real. You know, like I don't know. That's another thing about this one is like it seems like it's marketed towards wrestling fans, but then it kind of makes fun of wrestling
Right.
fans.
Yeah, I was
you know?
like, this doesn't really paint wrestling fans in a good light
yeah.
at times.
Yeah,
They
so
kinda
just a little
portray 'em as
confused. I don't know who the
idiots.
audience was necessarily supposed to be.
Right.
Like, you know, stoners in the 2000s.
Well,
or
yeah,
something, or-
Gordy, played by Arquette, he's just completely dumb.
Yeah.
It seems.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Screaming the whole movie.
There's like one
Super over the top.
where like he's like at Rose McGowan's place and he's like trying to speak Spanish or something and she goes like, "Wow, are you fluent?" He's like, "No, I feel fine." I'm like,
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Word-
That struck me
wordplay.
as that typical kind of 2000s
Yeah,
humor.
that's like something like in Dumb and Dumber. you
Yeah,
know, like
right.
she's like, how about you pick me up like a 7:15? He's like, "Oh, yeah, I guess I could. I was also thinking of maybe picking you up at 7:15." Stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, David Arquette is like the big wrestling fan. He's the guy that like you see in the stands when they like do those big shows and like, you know, they're crying or something over
They do cry in this movie
Yeah,
when they're
yeah, they
arriving
do.
home.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. They're both crying like they're man tears.
Yeah, and I like that. It's like allergies. Yeah,
Stupid bogus allergies.
yeah. That was funny.
Yeah, but I always like didn't watch wrestling growing up, and I like knew it was, you know, fake, but I didn't really like deride it because of that or anything. I wasn't like making fun of people that did like it. I understood it was just entertainment.
Yeah.
But you get the feeling there were a lot of fans like David Arquette's character who like legit bought in and, you know, would cry and scream
Yeah.
and like, you know, leak
Wrestling's
from the nose.
not
Yeah, yeah,
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
He gets
And that's
very
the very beginning
passionate.
too. You know?
Yeah, very passionate about
Yeah.
his wrestling.
The other guy, what's his name? Sean in the
Yeah.
movie. Yeah, he's a little more low key about it, but still like,
Yeah.
has the passion. But
Right,
he's more
yeah.
down to earth, reasonable.
Yeah,
That's why he becomes the manager or whatever.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What did he call him? Oh man, he had a nickname when he was like the pimp looking guy.
Yeah, I forget. I know what you're talking about.
Sugar
though.
Spice or something.
Something like that.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, he's got his big zoot suit on. Have you guys ever seen him in anything else?
Ooh, I couldn't.
He's
tell.
familiar.
Well, his dad's James Caan.
Oh
that's-
yeah. That's why I
but-
knew him.
Yeah.
Or that I looked that up and I know him. And then I think what is he in Ocean's 11 or something like that?
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
that's right,
I've never
yeah.
seen Ocean's 11 actually, so
Mm.
I think this is the only movie I've ever seen him in off the top of my head.
Yeah, he's in a couple things, but nothing that jumps out at you. I don't think. You know, he just
Yeah.
looks familiar. That's how I
Right.
felt about a lot of the people in this movie. Like,
Yeah.
I can't tell you more than one or two things that they did, but I could tell you that they look familiar, like character actors, like even Jimmy King.
Yeah,
It's
he's
Oliver
been
Platt
Oliver
or
Platt. He's been in a
Oliver
lot of
Platt.
stuff.
hmm I knew him from a lot. I recognized like his wife.
I wanted to bring that. She was one of the aunts on Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought of when I saw
Me
her.
too, Hilda.
Yeah.
So there's just the Rose McGowan, right? Sasha.
Joe
Joey
Pantoliano?
Pants.
Joey Pants.
Joey Pants.
from The Matrix.
Yeah.
He's
Cypher. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize him at first. I thought he was David Cross at first.
Oh my god.
What's his name? Tobias.
Yeah,
Funke.
yeah,
yeah.
that's
Because he has
funny.
that same kind of hair in, I think, what is it, Scary Movie or something like that.
Kinda,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
When he's in the wheelchair.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's funny.
But I was looking at him, and it wasn't really until like the end, actually. I think when he's yelling at him, and he's like, "No, you idiot!" And I was like, "Oh my God, that's Cypher."
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I know this steak isn't real. You know what? 2 movies to do like within a year span.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is very close to Matrix. Yeah, so
Yeah,
Quite
and
the
for David
quite the
Arquette too.
contrast.
I always thought Scream was like 99, and I looked it up. It's like 96
Oh, wow.
yeah.
So it's a
Because
little
well,
earlier.
Scream 3 came out this year too.
in 2000.
Yeah, and they both made Roger Ebert's most hated movies of 2000.
Good stuff.
He had it out for David Arquette, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, they're a little. It's just funny, like you go from Scream to Ready to Rumble, but this seemed like almost like a passion project for him, right? I mean,
yeah,
he likes wrestling.
He's a legit wrestling fan. Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, so much so I think later on in the year, WCW
Yeah.
actually made him champion.
Roman and I were talking about that. When
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
we're outside.
I heard
Yeah.
it wasn't a very good match. I didn't watch it.
Well, it's just a lot of people were just like, "What are you doing? Taking an actor and making him?" That's one reason why people say like WCW just was doing so bad at the time is just shit like that.
They probably did a bunch of like desperation type moves, and I
Yeah.
think they tried to maybe, you know, as part of like marketing, even for maybe this movie,
Yeah,
take David Arquette and make him a winner. I saw like a YouTube video of him like actually winning. He just like runs back into the ring, spears the guy, tackles him, and then sits on top of him, and the ref 1, 2, 3 counts,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden they just hand him the belt. And even Diamond Dallas Page is right next to him. Like they were supposed to be fighting, I think, but Diamond Dallas Page doesn't even look mad. He's just kind of like, "What? This is crazy." You know, and yeah, I think fans didn't react too well to that.
No.
It seemed like anyway.
yeah.
Did you see? I was telling you about it. They had like a 2020 movie with David Arquette where he returns to wrestling. Like he comes back to WWE. I think.
What's it, like you can't kill David Arquette. Is that
Yeah,
what it's called?
yeah. Or I don't know if he comes back, but it's like his journey to come back or something. And I don't know how serious it is, or if there's much comedy to it at all or anything. But
Yeah, I don't know. Either.
20 years later, you know, he's still involved.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So you know, he really did like wrestling.
Yeah.
Wrestling's
Well,
not fake.
It sounded like he was against the whole idea of him being champion too.
Oh,
Because
really?
I think for those same reasons, he's like, well, you know, I'm not a wrestler though.
Yeah, he's a real fan. Probably.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
what kind of bogus bullshit is this?
Yeah.
Maybe they're
yeah.
trying to promote the movie some more.
Yeah, I
that
think
way.
that's the only reason why they did that.
Yeah.
Because it's just kind of silly. It'd be like, do you guys remember that Like Mike movie with Lil Bow Wow?
Yeah.
It'd be like for the movie, like they put him on an NBA team and he won the championship. Like it's
He was in the All-Star game, the Celebrity All-Star game. They
Oh,
had
was
one
he?
of those.
Oh, that's funny.
That's
Bow Wow.
That's funny.
But he might have even won MVP actually. Coming
Oh,
back with it.
wow, that's
they,
funny.
they gave Kevin Hart MVP for like 2 years in a row because as like a joke.
Wow, that's funny.
Yeah. Anyway, that is the equivalent.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, as for this movie, I felt like I just felt like I even said it in Matrix, like how it's very embodies its time,
Yeah.
and that's how I feel about this one. It's something's just different about like late 90s, 2000, early 2000s like comedies.
Mm-hmm.
We were looking at a list, right? I haven't seen Freddy Got Fingered, but that's on there. Road Trip's on there. It's just all kinds of like American Pies around this time.
It made me think of Dude, Where's My Car a lot.
Yeah, Dude, Where's
Oh,
My
yeah.
Car? You know, I think Bill and Ted was a little before this, but it's kind of like
it's kind of in that same vein, Dumb and
Yep.
Dumber.
Yep.
I
The buddy
told
comedy.
even like not even the like. I sent it to you guys. Bubble Boy with Jake Gyllenhaal kind of
yeah,
reminded
yeah.
me of that a little bit. Even like Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
right. Yeah,
It's a
Is
lot
it the
of
hair, maybe?
the hair.
Is it the hairstyles back then? Because we got like blonde, spiky hair.
Maybe, yeah.
they're
I
all
think
like
Bubble Boy, he has
Hall
kinda
and
like
Oates
spiky-
clones.
Yeah. His hair in Bubble Boy is like, what the fuck's going on?
yeah, that sticky like. I don't know, the 2000s and late 90s was kind of like I don't care period for a lot of people, like in
Yeah.
terms of like taking care of themselves and stuff, slobby sort of.
Yeah.
Far cry from the 50s when everybody was wearing suits and
Yeah.
hats and
Right,
stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, very different. And even now, like, I don't know, like nowadays I feel more so you're dressing up to like express something.
Right.
Whereas like it seems like in the 90s, 2000s, there's a lot of like, oh, I don't care. you know, and in a way that's expressing some things too, but
Yeah.
but still, it was just very common. It seems like.
Right.
I don't know why slob just kind of fits, for me at least, like fits the whole comedy and
Yeah,
everything.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
So this movie definitely embodies a lot of that. We were going through the director's other stuff, and he was like a producer and creator of the show All That on Nickelodeon, and you know, the Amanda Show and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And he did Keenan and Kel and
Yeah.
Good Burger, and I haven't seen Varsity Blues, but I saw some clips from it, and they struck me very much the same. You know, so yeah,
Yeah.
there's a style to all this.
Yeah.
And I could see how it's definitely nostalgic too for us that were born in the late 90s, you know.
And I've never even seen this movie, but I got a lot of nostalgia watching it just because, you know, I remember being alive at that time, and I remember vaguely wrestling being huge. Like, I think I told you guys, I remember, mainly remember playing the video games at this time.
Right. Yeah.
I had a babysitter who had WWF and WCW games. And, yeah, a lot of nostalgia.
Who'd you main as?
It depended. In WWF, I did Mankind, and then in WCW, I did Sting.
Oh,
I didn't
nice.
like. I was gonna bring this up. I thought WCW was kind of lame.
Oh, okay.
I thought they were the poor man's WWF because it was just like, it just wasn't again, the only dude I really, Diamond Dallas Page was cool, but like other than that, I didn't really care because WWF had The Rock, Stone Cold.
Oh yeah. you
The
can't beat
Undertaker,
that. Oh,
like
yeah.
just so many more people.
Isn't
it
that like
seemed.
the beginning of the Attitude Era? or
Exactly,
something like that?
yeah.
Okay,
This
and
was
that's
like
more
the height of
interesting.
the Attitude Era.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it just, again, I thought Goldberg was just like a poor man's Stone Cold. Like,
I
was like,
thought
who
it was
the fuck is
Stone
this
Cold when
guy?
I saw him
Yeah.
working out in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, John Cena's in the background of that scene.
I had to look it up
Yeah.
to see. He's got like blonde hair or something.
Yeah.
I had to look it up because
I had to pause it and see which one he was.
Yeah,
Sure,
I had to
yeah.
look it up.
It's a
to see
super quick second, but
Yeah.
yeah, he's back there.
Yeah.
First movie role.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah.
WCW was actually originated in the 1988, and then they only lived till 2001.
Well, I think they were already. It was they went through a few names. I think that's when 1988 is when they changed to World Championship Wrestling. The name, I think they were called something else before that.
Oh, okay.
I did see that they took over from some kind of wrestling.
'Cause
I don't.
Ted Turner bought it. I think maybe
Ted.
around then or like in the 90s. It might have been
Oh, Ted.
88. And yeah, for a while in the mid 90s, they were actually doing a lot better than WWF because they got Hulk Hogan, they got Randy Savage from WWF. Even it was cool to see Mean Gene Okerlund in this, the announcer, bald guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I
He
didn't
was in
know that.
WWF as well. Like,
He
and
was
again,
always doing the interviews with like
Yes.
Hulk Hogan and
Yeah. Like, one of my favorite Mean Gene moments is when Ric Flair won the Royal Rumble in the early '90s, and Ric Flair's just like doing his promo after he won, and Mean Gene's there, and then just out of nowhere, Mean Gene just points at someone off camera, and goes, "Put that cigarette out." It's really funny.
Random.
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool seeing him in there.
Yeah.
We got Bruce Buffer in there too.
Yeah, or it's Michael Buffer, right?
Oh, Michael. Sorry.
Yeah. One of the Buffer boys.
Yeah. Before we talk about because we're talking about Blast from the Past, the pop culture in this soundtrack. Before we talk about that, I want to talk about the actual like themes and soundtrack. Jimmy the King's theme gets me pumped every
Yeah.
time I hear it. He plays the horns before he comes out on stage. Bum, bum, bum,
Oh, right.
bum,
Yeah, that's right.
bum,
Yeah.
bum, bum.
Yeah.
I love Jimmy the King's theme. But yeah, going to the pop culture of the 2000s, I think we hear Britney Spears in here.
Oh, right.
He's
When
singing
Sean's
along
singing
on his Discman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, again, it's like, okay, you know what era this was made for sure.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Yeah.
Wasn't that what it was?
Yeah.
Give me a sign.
There's
He's just
a-
walking around.
Yeah, I know. It was just
As
like
the
fucking-
Shermanators on the computer.
Right, the
hacking.
Shermanator. Yeah. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, it's the Shermanator. That was funny.
Please
But-
hold all redhead jokes, everybody.
Yeah.
We're taking this very seriously right now.
He was like McLovin before McLovin.
Pretty much. That's a great comparison. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great comparison.
Yeah, there was Lit played.
Yes.
My Own Worst Enemy twice actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, once
They
at the
do,
beginning
yeah.
and then once like later in the
In
movie.
the middle,
when they're-
kind of,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Kid Rock shows
Right.
up. Not shows up, but his music shows
Isn't it,
up.
I want to be a cowboy.
There's
Or-
something with cowboy songs in our episodes lately. This one's very different than the other cowboy song, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's got the
Dusty.
ball with the ball. Again, like
I was expecting to hear like break stuff by Limp
exactly,
Bizkit, you know?
exactly.
Where was
yeah.
the Blink 182?
And that,
Yeah, no
yeah,
Blink, no Blink.
yeah, I know. I guess like they're like, hey, we got lit. That's good enough. We
Yeah.
got lit in Kid Rock. We've got our bases covered there.
Yeah, we've got the 90s by the balls.
Exactly.
They sang
exactly.
"Running with the Devil" with the Nuns.
That was
That's
funny.
right, yeah.
That was funny.
Do you know any Van Halen? The one Nuns like.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
We're not gonna take it as like at the very end, and we
Oh,
will
really?
rock
Right,
you, like
yeah.
certain renditions. I don't think it's the originals.
It's the cover, I think.
Yeah,
yeah,
some covers.
Oh yeah, like the chick I think or something like. We're not
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
take it.
Yeah. So
You-
there's a lot of good like
One thing,
nostalgic tunes in here.
I wanted to bring up too. I got. Did you guys ever see Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back?
It's
No,
been a minute.
It's.
Not
I
the
got a
second
lot
one.
of vibes from that because like they get picked up by Carrie Fisher and she's like a nun, I think. That reminded me of when they get picked up by the nuns.
Yeah.
Which was probably before this, right?
I think it came out after. It was like either 2000 or 2001. Jay and Silent Bob came out.
Oh. Well, and then in the very beginning, when he does the Slurpee trick with his ass and makes it smell like
We were
shit.
watching it. Like the first thing I thought was like, that's fucking Mallrats. Jason Lee does
Yeah.
that exact same thing. Well, not the exact same thing, but he shoves his hand up his ass in Mallrats.
So I guess that kind of shows like love for Mallrats, maybe. don't
I
know. 'Cause
guess
that was before
yeah,
this one.
Yeah,
for
that was
sure.
like mid
Maybe
'90s.
that Kevin Smith humor. Is in
Yeah,
there too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I still love that scene. That whole opening is so fucking
With
hilarious to me.
Imhotep from the Mummy getting in a fight with him.
That guy.
That'll be $1.76, right? I don't
His
remember.
name's
Yeah.
Ahmet Zappa
Okay.
as the cashier.
Okay.
That's a cool name.
Yeah.
Zappa.
Wait a minute, Zappa?
Frank's.
Frank
He's
Zappa?
he's got to be Frank Zappa's kid. I
That'd
didn't
be
know
insane.
that. Wow,
No,
that's amazing.
maybe.
I knew Dweezil Zappa and Moon Unit Zappa. I didn't know him though. That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
One of them Zappa boys.
Yeah.
But Jimmy the King in the intro shows up with to fight Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you're
that,
gonna Macho Man.
yeah, that was pretty cool.
That
Is
was-
he a WCW wrestler?
Well,
or-
he was one of the dudes that jumped ship to WCW when WWF was not doing well in the '90s.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, because like you think like there's all these like crazy things of him, like these promos, like yeah, cup of coffee and all this like random shit,
Yeah.
and like yeah, because wrestling I think got really big in the '80s. That's like when it first got mainstream with like Hulk Hogan and him and Ultimate Warrior, and like got really big in the culture. And when I think of Randy Savage, I think more of that. I just remember him from Slim Jim commercials.
Yeah, same.
Like me personally, like since we didn't grow up in the '80s. Snap into a Slim Jim.
It's
I just-
interesting too because Macho back in his heyday used to be like his outfits were really bright colors like
Yeah.
neon pink and neon yellow.
And in this, he's just like wearing a black tank top.
Yeah.
You know?
That's funny.
He looks like exactly how he looks in Spider-Man. When he shows up in Spider-Man, he's like, Bonesaw is ready. I got you for 3 minutes.
WCW almost goes to like a emo vibes or like early 2000s. I want to say like spiked collar vibes.
Yeah.
I can't describe that vibe, but it's interesting.
They changed their logo around this time. I'll see if I can pull up a visual because when I think of WCW, I don't think of the logo in this. It looks really crappy.
It's like a
They were-
black. It almost looks like a black tribal tattoo. Somebody would get.
Yes, yeah. And again, I think it's because like they were doing like they need to be more hip.
They're
Yeah.
probably rebranding and attempting just all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, this was the like when I think of WCW, I think of this logo, which actually you can see it a little bit in the because again, like I'll see if I can like find
Gotcha.
a
They like flattened it out and stretched it.
yeah, it
just
just
took it
looks so
into paint
crappy.
and just kind of distorted the image and saved it again. It was like, this
When
is
I think
our
of
new
WCW, I think of this. That was the game I used to play.
Okay.
Mm.
WCW versus NWO.
NWO.
Just classic like block letters versus the more.
saw an
I think I
NWO,
played. I think I played this
blanket.
one too. Can't really see it, but
Jimmy King had an NWO blanket. And I
that's
was just
right.
like-
I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that. That was one reason why WCW got big in the '90s was the NWO,
yeah.
the New
I-
World Order.
I just recognized that because, like I said, I didn't grow up watching wrestling or anything, but one of my cousins did, and he had like full sheets and pillowcases
Yeah,
and
that's
blankets of various wrestling stuff.
That's awesome.
And I'd go over there and see like Hulk Hogan, cuddling him to sleep or something. You know, there's something again. I don't want to harp too much on it, but the 2000 specifically, because this movie is made turn of the millennium. Like, what is it about shots of people driving with like that music over,
dude,
and then like it'll kind of pan up into like the skyline and stuff, and they do it like 6 times.
Yeah, this movie's like that the movie. Yeah,
because I know Road Trip was here, Euro Trip came out after that. Like American Pie has like a lot of traveling. I think he did Without a Paddle as well, like the same writer or something like that. And that's like another, I don't know, all these Odyssey movies.
Like it's almost montagey in a way.
Yeah,
a little montagey.
Yeah, so with the soundtrack and stuff, that's what I kept just tying it to.
Yeah.
You know, and I saw they drove past the same building like 3 times.
That's
it's
funny.
like
this
the
warehouse.
granary?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
It's like a warehouse, like a farming thing.
Do you think they were kind of trying to,
It's the same one.
like, not pander, but like kind of more market towards middle America with this movie? You know, they live in Iowa or something, right?
Wyoming.
Wyoming.
I thought that was very
You know?
interesting. Lusk, Wyoming. And then what was it?
Where's
Sasha's
Georgia?
from Cody or something?
They go to Georgia.
They go to Atlanta.
To find Jimmy King.
Jimmy
the
King.
King.
Yeah, Jimmy the King. Find his son. And his son shows up later, and I was reading that really happened or something like that to, like, maybe...
Oh, I think
some
Ric
wrestler.
Flair.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
at the
Ric
time,
Flair's
yeah.
son.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could see, like, the Middle America thing, you know?
I think maybe
Wyoming
because
and-
wrestling fans are predominantly in middle America.
Yeah,
wanna,
we're
you
from
know.
California, and, you know...
There
see
were,
it
at
here,
least there
but-
were wrestling fans back in the day when it was big around this time.
But I think of it more as, like, a Midwest thing,
Yeah,
for sure.
or a southern thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's really big in the South, for sure.
Yeah, so I did think it was a very interesting choice to put them in Wyoming in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Right. And they're like, they're like septic tank drivers or something?
Yeah, that's
like,
right.
what was their occupation? They're just like,
Yeah, like garbage truck. They drain out the septic tanks and porta potties and things like that.
there's one part where they're eating their lunch, and they're like, there's like fecal matter dripping out of the septic tank right next to them while they're eating their lunch. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah, they kept like they
Ugh.
kept like cutting to the shot of like David Arquette talking to him, and like just in the frame right there, just drip.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it was right between the two of them. I
Yeah.
thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much toilet humor was in this one.
Yeah.
Dude, a ton.
Well, you brought up the nuns. They're not just the nuns.
The farting
They're the farting nuns.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it about this time period? They just loved butts and farting.
Yeah.
and ass.
Toilet
and-
humor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoving your hand up your ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody also pointed out the nut shots, the amount of nut shots.
Right.
Oh,
Don't they
right.
just show it at the end of the movie how many nut shots
Oh, they
there
do
are
like
or
the
something?
supercut.
Yeah.
At the end,
There's a lot of
Jimmy
nut
the King.
shots.
It's like all the takes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if they got a double for that because some guy that was fine with getting kicked in the nuts, one of the Jackass boys or something.
Probably, yeah. The cup test.
But that scene where they're sitting on the back of the truck with the juices just leaking out of the back,
Ugh.
he shows off his bracelet, WWKD. What would King do?
What is
Yeah.
he's like wicked? What?
Yeah,
Something?
wicked?
Yeah.
He's like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Don't worry, bro. I made you one too.
Yeah, that was cool.
But whenever,
made you.
man, I'll tell you, whenever I get in those dark times in real life, man,
That's
I
what you
ask
think.
myself that.
What would the
What
king
would
do?
King do?
Dub KD.
Oh, Jimmy the King.
Yeah.
What would Jimmy do?
I think I might have actually made some bracelets back when I was younger
Oh,
too.
that's
to be
awesome.
honest.
That's super cool.
And give them to my
Nice.
friend.
That's super cool.
Just think, what would King do?
Yeah.
I kind
That's
of
so
like,
goofy.
I liked the understatedness of like Jimmy the King. Like, he's not like they didn't get like an Arnold Schwarzenegger type guy to play him. you know?
Right.
He's
Yeah.
just a regular dude doing these like ridiculous stunts.
Well, and that's what Sinclair says is, I made you, Jimmy. I made you. I
Yeah.
just pulled you out of a trailer.
Yeah,
Right.
you
And
trailer trash.
Yeah.
And you can go right back down there. if you
Yeah.
want.
I want to. I guess I just missed this. Why was he wearing a dress when they meet him? Why was he dressed up as a woman?
I was imagining he was like hiding out from people.
Is that why he was
Yeah.
wearing a dress?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I missed something. I'm like, was he doing like a cabaret show or something? I was like, what? Like, is that how he's making his money now
Jimmy
or
the
something?
Queen.
Yeah, he's like the king's a queen.
Yeah.
Well, that's how Chris Owen, Isaac, he was searching his
That's
computer.
Shermanator, right?
Yeah.
Terminator,
Yeah.
yeah. That's how he found Jimmy. Was apparently he got like a speeding ticket in his RV.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
So maybe
that's
he was
right,
hiding
yeah.
from the cops too. I don't know.
And he gave an address. No, because he gave the address to that RV park where they find him from that. I just imagined he was hiding from, the WCW guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe like even some. I didn't know if they were gonna like go in at that point when he was hiding. Like, does he have debt or something? Like the mob,
Right.
And
Yeah.
like this whole like new crazy thing. But no, he was just wearing a dress. I kind of think that was another thing that was just like, look, this guy's wearing a dress.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah.
Guys don't wear dresses. Whoa.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
What
much
is
more
this?
like I don't know. It's just different humor.
Yeah.
Is that
Very true.
outdated by today's
I
standards?
was thinking
probably?
about that. Well, do
Yeah, a
they?
little bit, yeah.
Do you? Well, I don't know if they portray it. Do you think they portray it negatively?
No, it's just a
Straight
one
up.
joke, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's a queen, and then like also he's sitting there like discussing with them, and he's still just in the
Right,
full outfit,
right,
which is
yeah,
kind of funny too.
yeah,
This is
yeah.
like a serious talk, and they're trying to like convince him, and he's just like wearing a wig.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't think that would be as funny in a movie today.
You probably
like, to contemporary
they probably
audience.
wouldn't do that now, but at the same time, I mean, I think it could have been worse.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, they could have called him things that probably. I mean, you know, at least like calling him a queen, it's in reference to his name. You know, he's the king. It's
Yeah.
the king's
Right.
the king's a queen. Like,
Yeah, it's just like humor, basically.
yeah. It
Kinda
could. I think
slides.
it could have been worse. It probably doesn't hold up nowadays, but it could have been worse.
Actually, towards the end, when they're trying to do tryouts for different local wrestlers to be on their team, there's the guy who sings Oklahoma.
Right.
with it.
Yeah.
Apparently, they had to cut a scene where they tie that dude to a tree because they didn't want to seem like they were anti-gay.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
I guess they kind of tried to tone down like all the anti-gayness.
Interesting.
in
I
this
didn't
movie.
even know that was what they were going for with that guy. I just thought he got mixed up. He's like,
Yeah.
this is the tryouts for Oklahoma, right?
Yeah.
Just an honest mix-up.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Just a little dumb one-off humor
Yeah.
line, kind of. Yeah.
Kind of interesting that you would cut that out, but keep in the queen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess
I
the
think it's a
queen
pretty
has
funny
more to
guy.
do with the plot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. No, he's just hiding out.
Yeah.
He's troubled. He's a troubled guy. He's drunk.
Yeah.
Alcoholic, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like almost kind of serious at some parts. Like, you know, they were going into like his backstory. And I was
Right.
like, is this a comedy?
I
Still?
like his fictitious backstory.
Yeah.
Like his like he meets their parents and like apparently they're dead.
Yeah. He's like, and after you died in a plane.
Yeah. That was funny.
It's
Had a
just
chuckle.
again, I felt like that was poking fun at the wrestling fans. They'll
Yeah.
literally like go to any length
Exactly.
to believe.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
That's why it's kind of interesting that the WCW funded this as like a promotion because they are
Yeah.
kind of making fun of the fans.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
I saw Diamond Dallas Page said that he wanted to do like an alternate ending.
I
where-
read that too.
Okay, you saw that?
Yeah, I read that
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Explain it, Ro. That
Yeah,
was
he
hella
wanted
cool.
to like then after everything's over, Jimmy the King, and then go back to like the trailer or whatever, like his room or whatever, and Diamond Dallas Page would be in there waiting, and you know they would probably have like hyped it up for a second, like he's gonna fight again, but then he like shakes his hand instead and is like, you know, great work out there, like you deserved it. And then something about the kids being like, whoa, that's Diamond Dallas Page, you can't like get with him, and he's like, welcome to the business, kids. And
Yeah.
then they all like, you know,
Yeah, let's go grab a drink.
yeah,
Yeah.
they throw their arms over each other and walk into the sunset type thing.
Yeah.
And that would be funny, I guess, if you do it right. But then that would be even more so of literally just like, I don't know, sort of spitting in the face of the fans that really do believe in it.
Right, yeah.
Like, you dumbasses.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's fake. Wrestling's fake.
Exactly.
Wrestling's
not fake.
Because I think that was Diamond Dallas Page's idea for that ending. So I wonder if he wanted to almost come off as like a good guy or like he's just doing his job. Whereas
Yeah.
this whole film revolves around him being the villain. Maybe that's what he was trying to
Yeah,
do. He didn't want to
maybe.
seem like a bad guy at the
Maybe.
end of the
Right.
day.
Some kind of career move or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Because
I think
doesn't his
he
career end shortly after this? Like, he got hurt or something? He had injuries?
DDP. I don't think. No, he was still
Oh, he's
wrestling.
still on?
I know him more in WWF than I did in WCW. I only knew him in WCW from the. Again, I like they go to Monday Night Nitro. I don't think if I watched it, it was probably like one time. I remember they had a show on Thursdays called Thunder too, and I don't even think I watched that. Again, it was more like Raw and SmackDown. Like those were the ones. Not what the fuck is this Nitro crap?
Right. Nitro, you're a holdover from the 80s.
Yeah.
You dinosaur. Get out of
Exactly.
here.
What was I gonna
Future is
s-
now, old man.
Exactly. What the fuck was I gonna? I was gonna say something about. I think he still had a career after this. A pretty
Okay.
decent.
So-
Maybe I was thinking of
career.
somebody else or something.
Maybe.
Some other wrestler. I don't know.
Could be.
I thought it was interesting. You said you played as Mankind in the games, and Mankind, doesn't he get like thrown through the Hell in a Cell thing? the
Yeah,
Undertaker
yeah,
thing?
he got thrown off. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
that
Jesus.
was. Yeah.
Did he get thrown off, or did he like the cage? I thought the cage
Both.
broke.
He got thrown off, and then he climbed back up and fell.
Oh God.
Yeah,
And it was kind of interesting that in the movie at the end, he like throws Diamond Dallas Page like through the cage. And I looked up the Undertaker thing, and it happened 2 years before.
Yeah,
I was just like, oh man,
98, yeah.
That's a little soon.
That's because as a kid, before I knew wrestling was scripted, it kind of scared me. Like, you know, seeing, especially, that's why I think I liked Mankind. Mankind's my favorite, or Mick Foley, his real name, is my favorite wrestler, because like he would just come out wearing this creepy mask like Leatherface in Texas Chainsaw or something, and he'd just get the shit kicked out. Like he, again, like falling through a cage, getting thrown off the top, like just having there's one match where The Rock handcuffs him, he's just beating him with a chair. Oh God. And it's just like he's just covered in blood, and it scared me as like a 4 or 5 year old. It actually like kind of, I mean, now it's silly to say that, but when these guys actually, you know, they intentionally cut themselves to bleed and everything, like it kind of scared me as a kid, like just having all this blood on their face.
Right.
It's almost kind of spooky, but
Did Mankind get hurt when he got thrown off?
yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he got messed up, I guess.
Yeah, he took a lot of beatings. That's when people say it's fake. It's like it's not. I mean, yeah, it's like scripted. It's but it's at the same time, you know, like I read David Arquette donated all of his money that he earned from WCW to like families of wrestlers who had died, and one dude, his name was Darren Drozdov, he just got paralyzed right around the time this movie came out. And it's like, wrestling's fake, well, go tell that to that guy, like, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's fake up until a point when you get paralyzed.
Yeah, that's the thing, is people don't realize like what's fake and what's real from it, you
Right.
know. Yeah, the writing is fake, right? The scripting, the moves that they do together in tandem a lot of times are fake and stuff, but dudes are still falling, you know, 15 feet and getting smacked with chairs. I mean, you can only make it look so fake if you didn't actually make contact.
Right.
So
exactly.
you got to make a little.
Yeah.
Wrestling's not fake.
That's such a scream. He goes, wrestling's not fake.
It's like cracking.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was having some screams and some faces in the movie, and like I think he was like drooling from the mouth one time, foaming at the mouth one time when somebody was. I think he was talking to Jimmy the King.
Yeah.
I think it was that scene after like the ambush from the porta potty, and like they all of a sudden just become like his agents, you know. I like that scene because that seemed like such a thing that would happen in wrestling. Like someone's cutting a promo and then out of nowhere some dude just jumps out of a porta potty. Yeah, definitely.
I was like, that's like straight up something that would happen.
That felt like it. The only thing that was weird was then like instead of giving the mic over to Jimmy, then they like start talking to the two dudes and like, you know, David Arquette.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when I think he's foaming at the mouth. He's like, "He'll take him on."
Yeah.
And Jimmy's like,
that's
"Oh,
right.
hold on,
yeah, he's spitting. Yeah.
Hold on, boys."
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen too much wrestling, and even I thought that was like very fitting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking popping out of the porta potty.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. That was a good scene.
Yeah, so I'm sure there's like a lot of little nods and love letters to it, even though again they're kind of making fun of fans. I don't know, it just seems like so caught in the middle.
Yeah, definitely.
You could see why they would have had mixed reactions.
Yeah.
Speaking of love letters, should we talk about Sal Bandini?
Love me some Sal Bandini.
He was one of my favorite people in the movie.
It's hilarious seeing him just wreck everybody, and he's an old man.
Yeah, I like how my favorite part was when he just pops out of like his like secret compartment and is like, "Sal Bandini, wanna wrestle?"
Yeah, just grabs their legs and yanks them. He was watching Kung Fu when they walked in.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That was funny.
Yeah,
he was good.
When I told my dad that we were gonna review this one, he said, "Sal Bandini, want to wrestle?"
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Love that movie. And then my sister, she did the same thing when I told her.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Sal Bandini, yeah.
Yeah.
That is a great part, and that actor Sal Bandini is a Martin Landau.
Yeah. Great actor.
I don't know anything else he's in though.
He, I know him from a lot of obscure. He's in one of my favorite slashers called Alone in the Dark.
Oh.
But he was like he's in a North by Northwest, the Alfred Hitchcock. He was like a very respected actor. He won an Academy Award.
Oh wow.
For Ed Wood, which is a good Tim Burton movie. Like he was a very respected actor. Which
Ed Wood is a Tim Burton movie?
Yeah, Ed Wood. It's a good movie. It's a very good movie. Johnny Depp's Ed Wood.
Oh.
Of course, you know Johnny Depp, Tim Burton, but
The Connection.
Yeah, he plays
Is Helena Bonham Carter in that one?
I don't know. This I think was before that era, but he plays Bela Lugosi, the guy who played Dracula, and he does a really good job in it.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. I knew him from being Bella.
Yeah. But the character I read, the character Sal Bandini is based off of Stu Hart, who was like his son's Bret Hart. Bret Hart was like a big Bret the Hitman Hart. He's a big wrestler, and his son Owen Hart was big at this, or not at this time, but in the '90s, Owen Hart was pretty big too.
Yeah.
And
Bret Hart, Owen Hart.
There's this. I thought this was really cool. So like like when they're going to meet him and you hear this like screaming.
Yeah.
So there's a documentary about Bret Hart that they put out in the late '90s called Wrestling with Shadows, and they talk about the Hart family and Stu Hart and everything. And he had this thing in their house called the Dungeon where he would like practice wrestling moves on people, much like Sal Bandini in this movie. And there's this part where they're talking about it, and they play this audio of just like screams coming from, and like Stu Hart, like he does it in the documentary too, and he's like demonstrating to these two dudes, and like the whole time the dudes are like, sir, I can't feel my arm, sir. And like he's all tired, he's like, yeah, when you do this, you feel like your tongue's about to burst, your eyes are gonna roll in the back of your head. Like it's so funny. But I guess the screaming was in the documentary from like I don't know if this is true or not, but it was like from a priest. I guess there was word that one priest in town was molesting kids, so Stu Hart took him down to the dungeon and showed him some wrestling moves.
Wow.
Holy
I don't know if
crap.
that's true or not, but
That's crazy.
Word
yeah,
on the
I thought that
street.
was a cool little way to open it. Like you just hear the screams, I'm like, that's cool, Also
Yeah.
the referencing of Stu Hart's dungeon, like I thought that was neat.
Yeah.
It's like that was like a high school
Yeah,
wrestling
high school
team with like
kids he
little
was training.
kids or something. Like that was pretty funny too.
And they're fully like bandaged up.
Yeah.
That was silly.
Yeah, it was it was funny.
Yeah.
Doesn't he ends up in the hospital, like
Oh
Because
yeah.
those two guys ambush him.
yeah.
Yeah,
He has
that-
like a funny line. He's like, my prostate's the size of a melon. And he says two other things. It's like, I feel like 50 years younger. Or
Yeah.
something. Like, that was
Yeah.
pretty funny.
My nuts are in my throat.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, he was good.
He might have been my favorite character.
Yeah, he's the best.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Love some Sal.
I could see that too. Wanna wrestle?
Sal Bandini. Want to wrestle?
Wanna wrestle? I just
Pops up like a
Sal
Jack in the
Bandini,
Box.
Wanna wrestle?
Did we already talk about all the wrestler cameos? We got Sting in there. We got
Yeah.
Diamond Dallas Page, who I think this movie made Diamond Dallas Page pretty important for me, like
Yeah.
as a wrestler.
Right.
I can always recognize him after watching this one.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Goldberg, we
Yeah.
were talking about a little bit. Booker T's in the background
Right.
for a little bit.
Yeah,
And it's
did see
I know
him.
Booker T more from his rivalry with Stone Cold
Yeah.
after this movie came out.
That's great.
There's this great thing they did, and it's like very jackassy. They're in a supermarket, and they're just Stone Cold's just like beating the shit out of him with all this like groceries and whatnot. It's really funny.
Like in the beginning opening scene when they slide him across the counter or the top of the shelves and there's all like the food and stuff flying
Yeah,
off.
it's almost like that. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I saw Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's funny because this is when he was unmasked. Usually he's wearing like a luchador mask, and this was like, again, I know Rey Mysterio more in WWF than WCW.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he, this is probably like the one time in his career he was maskless. I was like, oh, holy shit, that's cool.
Ray.
We saw. I think we were talking about John Cena's in the background.
Yeah.
Mhm.
For one of them.
I'm trying to think who else. There was a decent amount of Mean Gene Okerlund, Tony Schiavone, who's now announcing for All Elite Wrestling.
Oh,
There's
that's
a lot
cool.
of people in this. A lot of
Yeah.
people.
AEW.
Yeah.
Still a thing. Wrestling is still a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, 22 years later,
Yeah. Good old wrestling.
and there are still two wrestling.
Yeah, for a while it was just WWE, and then
Yeah.
All Elite came around a few years ago, and
What's the new one?
All AEW, All Elite Wrestling.
Oh
I'm not a big fan of it either.
no. Oh.
Sounds like they do more like edgy stuff, like
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
more risk taking.
Yeah, they did this one
They gotta
thing.
do something to stand
They
out.
did a dog collar match, which was actually kind of cool. But I don't know. I just something about I don't know if I'm just a hipster or what, but something about this modern wrestling. I don't know.
My
Not a-
buddy sends me these backyard wrestling videos where they're putting thumbtacks down, they're breaking glass over each other's heads.
Yeah.
Those ones
Jeez.
are brutal,
Yeah,
man.
that's where a lot of Mick Foley he used to do that in Japan, like in the night, like barbed wire matches and stuff, like really
Jeez.
crazy shit.
It's too much for me, man.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Pretty nuts. Yeah, pretty nuts.
Yeah, that's none of that in this one.
No, no, it's quite tame.
Yeah. Dude's falling from the the third cage. You know,
Right. I didn't even know. I've never heard of the triple cage thing, and I guess they did do that a few times on WCW from what I read. I'd never even heard of that.
That's awesome. I thought it was. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was like
Yeah,
over the
same.
top
I thought
ridiculous.
somebody just did for the movie.
But I shouldn't doubt
Exactly.
pro
Never,
wrestling.
yeah.
I
Never
think, if I'm not
underestimate it.
mistaken, I heard that it was premiered in this movie. That's the
Yeah, I
first
think
time
I
they
read that
did
too,
it.
and they did it after
That's
a few
great.
times. Yeah.
You know, like the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that movie no one saw? Ready to Rumble?
Yeah.
What'd you guys think about the performances in this movie? Did you like buy them? Did you think they were too cheesy? What'd you think, Ro?
I mean, they were cheesy. You know, Gordy, he's cheesy on purpose. So that was
Yeah,
kind of
right.
hard to differentiate.
He's like over the top cheesy.
Yeah. I mean, when it gets like more serious, when there are more like heartfelt conversations with Jimmy the King and stuff, like, you know, not bad.
Yeah.
Not as bad as it could have been for
No,
sure.
definitely.
Yeah. I know Roger Ebert hated Oliver Platt in this movie because he was like really underused. I think Ebert said.
Like he could have done more, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he it's like you have a good actor and you just kind of shunt him into this role instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Like some of the back and forth between the two main guys can be a little silly sometimes. And I don't know. It's hard to separate how much the performance is based on like the acting versus like some of the writing and direction.
Right.
and stuff.
That's a good point.
Like I thought Aunt Hilda, the trailer wife, was like just ridiculous. Like she
was
just
one
looked
thing.
silly. Like
That was one weird, like when she's scratching her crotch. She has
Yeah.
crabs. Jimmy the King gave her crabs. And then like, you ever seen crabs up close? And then like David Arquette's like, yeah, she's like, you want to see crabs up close? He's like, yeah, sure. And then like Scott Caan has to like kind of hold him back.
Yeah, he's like, hold on.
It's like, okay.
yeah, her character was kind of odd and
Yeah.
like I don't know. It was the shots too. Like they would just like kind of like come back in close to the person and. Yeah, her with all the makeup on and like the fake mole and stuff. I'm just like, what is this?
She was giving me Waterboy's mom's vibes.
Okay,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
I can see
like,
that.
almost bayou-ish.
Yeah,
area.
but that's what's her name?
Kathy Bates?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Kathy Bates. You know, that's I would say she's a much better actor.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah, definitely.
You know, she's
Without
a
a doubt.
stand-up comedian though. The lady from this movie.
Okay.
I
can
guess
see that
I've never
kinda.
seen any of her
I've never
stand-up.
either, but I could kind of see that.
Yeah. So yeah, as far as performances go, I mean, you know, what are you going to get out of pro wrestlers? You know, like
Right.
they can't all be The Rock,
Exactly.
who's not necessarily the greatest actor, but like probably one of the better of the wrestlers.
The Rock just opened up the Super Bowl. I mean, you know,
Yeah, he did.
He's like timeless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the wrestlers did okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were
did
good. I thought
fine.
Diamond Dallas Page was good.
Diamond was good.
He was really the only. Goldberg was fine. Who else? Like
Those are like
Sting.
the only two that
Sting,
really,
yeah,
well,
Sting
Sting
was-
just stands there. He has one
Yeah,
line,
that's
right?
what I like.
Yeah.
You guys ever seen The Crow?
Yes,
I
he
haven't
looked
watched
like
it
he
myself.
gave. He
So
felt like
the
that
Sting
completely.
Sting was way different in the first part of his career. He was like a surfer. He still had the face paint, but he was like more of like a bleached blonde surfer guy.
Wow.
And then when the Attitude, not Attitude, well WCW, I don't think they really call that the Attitude Era, but during the time of the Attitude Era, that's when he started with the black and the
Yeah,
baseball
like the
bat,
trench
like
coat type
the
thing.
crow looking.
Yeah,
Which I always, to me,
he
when I
totally
think of
looked
Sting,
like
I think of him because that's how he looked in the video games.
Brandon Lee. And,
Yeah.
yeah. That's Sting was one of the only people that I recognized like right
Right.
away because like I said, I'm not a big wrestling fan. Wasn't ever into it, but my brothers had one of the games.
Yeah.
and I just was like, yeah, I want to play the Kiss guy. I want to be that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to be Gene Simmons.
Exactly. That's funny.
If you look in the crowd too, you see a lot of Sting masks. On
Right.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all
Sting
throughout
was
the
pretty
movie
big.
too. Even
you-
at the end when they're going to the kids when he's like preaching again. At
Right.
The gas
One of them,
station.
I think,
One of
has
them
it
a
on.
Sting
Yeah.
mask still.
My buddy and we every once in a while we would watch like WCW pay-per-views from this time because some of them are all right. There's some decent matches, and like in the crowd, there's like so many people wearing Sting masks.
Mm-hmm.
He was a big wrestler,
Very
obviously
popular.
at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been wrestling for a long time, right? So
Yeah.
doesn't he still do stuff?
Yeah, I think he's in AEW right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't know how much he
Like a
wrestles anymore.
60-year-old man.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, he's doing something with AEW. Last I heard.
What do you think about the performances, Ian?
I thought they were fine. The thing that I wanted to bring up about David Arquette that I like about David Arquette is he's like, not relatable, but he's not like Channing Tatum. Nothing against Channing Tatum, but like he's more of kind of like your average Joe kind of dude, which I like about David Arquette. Really, like the only thing I've ever really seen David Arquette in, like when I first think of David Arquette, I think of him in Scream as this Special Officer Doofy. But
isn't his sister Rose McGowan?
yeah, I was gonna bring that up. They're brother and sister in the first Scream movie, and then in this they're banging.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
Lost my virginity.
Yeah, that was like he tells his dad that, like, yeah, by the way, I lost my virginity. It's like, yeah. Okay. I liked Martin Landau's character a lot. He was funny, goofy old man. Yeah. Wrestling man. Yeah, Jimmy the King was sometimes a little like, just kind of sitting there, just kind of like, but it worked for me. You know, for a movie like this, it worked. Scott Caan, I thought, was a good, you know, he had good back and forth with David Arquette. Rose McGowan was all right. I heard she
Those
really
pencil eyebrows.
Yeah, I heard she really didn't like making this movie.
Oh, really?
This guy I watched on YouTube. After I watched this movie, I watched his review of this movie, and like he's like, so apparently, yeah, Rose McGowan hated making this movie, but from what I know of Rose McGowan, I think she hates a lot of things, so that didn't surprise me. Which sucks. Like she was one of the people who came out during the Me Too thing, and
right, yeah, she was one of the big ones.
Yeah, I thought she looked
proponents.
This is like her peak look wise. I thought she was very attractive in this personally, but yeah, she was fine. Everybody for what kind of movie this is, I thought everyone did a pretty decent job for the most part.
Yeah, we're not on like, you know, Citizen Kane territory.
No. This isn't an Ingmar Bergman film. Like, this I thought for what they had to do.
I was thinking, like the cop dad. He was like way over the top.
Yeah. Yeah,
far too ridiculous.
And it was kind of like cliche out of them when he's seeing him wrestle. It's like, oh, that's my boy. Yeah. It's like, okay, now you come around. Okay.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of a trope, but
yeah. So his performance maybe was like one of the weaker ones in a sense.
Sure.
But you know, like that's part of his character too. Like I almost thought that was like tongue in cheek. Like his character is just a cop, and he's like a cop. That's it. Like, there's no other quality.
The family are like that.
The whole family
are
just
cops.
Yeah. He comes home and he's in his cop outfit. And he's watching Cops.
Yeah.
And he goes to work and it's like Cops.
Yeah. Very one-dimensional, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing is he just doesn't like contact, like men-to-men contact or whatever.
Oh yeah, because he like avoids a hug at the end when they're all celebrating.
Yeah. He hugs one guy, or one guy like they cut to him and he's like just coming out of a hug, and then you know, he turns around and goes for a hug, but yeah, he stops, goes for the handshake instead, like awkwardly. Funny. Yeah, because he's like, you can't wrestle, you can't, like, a man shouldn't touch another man, or something like that, some shit like that.
That's funny.
Which that could also be thought of as like anti-gay as well.
Yeah, a little homophobic.
Yeah. But you know, it's in the movie, it's portrayed in like a silly way, like that's such a ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's also the, because that's another thing. I feel like, I don't know why, of just this era, but I feel like it's common, like people watching something on a TV and like it cuts to their reaction. So like that old lady that was watching that they cut to like 4 different times.
Oh my God, like, the grandma from or whatever, the old lady from, she's in The Wedding Singer.
Oh,
yeah, yeah, and then she's all dressed up like a Nitro girl.
Yeah. Like, I want something tight. Bring me back.
Oh, and then he's like, "That's kind of gross, Miss blah blah blah." Or something.
Yeah,
Miss McKenzie.
Yeah, Miss. Yeah, it's kind of gross, Miss McKenzie.
Yeah. But then like they show her, and then they show like you know, the dad watching with all the cops and stuff. I don't know, like I think the Water Boy is like that too.
Oh,
like,
I'm sure. Yeah.
The mom is watching in Water Boy.
You can do it.
Yeah,
you can do it.
It's just like I don't know why that was so common back then. It seems like, of course, I can't think of other examples, but I'm sure you like go to movies and just look, and I don't know. It was kind of silly. Like I said, the shots of them are just like close up, and they're like looking like right above the camera, and they're just like, "Come on, like do it."
Yeah, yeah.
Was it supposed to be like references to like fans, you know, in the stands?
Could be,
like, kind of zooming in on them, sort of.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because they do zoom into Jimmy's parents. I think they actually got tickets to the show.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
his dad's David Arquette's real dad.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
his mom had like some messed up teeth.
Oh, really?
His name's Louis Arquette.
Right, yeah.
I think the only other performance I would add in is Sinclair's performance by
Right,
Joe
we didn't talk about him.
Pantoliano.
Yeah, I thought he did good.
I like him. He's
Yeah.
like a wormy kind of owner of the WCW, trying
Yeah.
to make things happen, and he's done with Jimmy.
Yeah,
Wants to get rid of Jimmy the King.
right.
Because he's lazy and doesn't show up on time.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently he threw up on Goldberg in one of their matches or something.
Oh, when they were teammates.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you could see why.
Yeah.
They don't want to get rid of him.
Yeah.
This is like the height of Joe's like acting career too, like around the 2000s, because he's in Matrix, he's in this movie, he's in what's that show, Sopranos.
Right.
He's
right.
all over the
yeah,
place.
that's a good point. Yeah.
So he's almost like a mainstay for me of like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
You don't see him too much nowadays.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
I might have seen like he's credited in like a CSI show or something.
Okay. I can see that.
On a Law and Order episode or
Yeah.
something.
I
Yeah.
can see that.
But yeah, we love our Pantoliano.
Yeah.
Gotta have him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian, what would you give this movie?
So it was tough to like kind of review, or at least like look at this objectively rather than subjectively, because again, like it brought back a shitload of nostalgia, and I'm trying not to let that blind me to this movie, you know.
Right. That's the hard part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking at it critically.
It's kind of, yeah, it's like I'd rather watch Dumb and Dumber or Mallrats, or maybe even Dude, Where's My Car. I'd probably rather watch Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Yeah.
But you know, the movie did make me laugh. You know,
Oh,
it
good.
made it, and I think that's the main goal of a comedy, is to make you laugh. So to me, it got the job. I mean, you know, not everything's, you know, kind of great. Like I don't know, like some of the humor falls flat a little bit, but overall, like I thought it did its job fine. You know, it's you know, I'm not. I know what this is. Like, I'm not gonna say it's like a, you know, a hidden gem of comedy or anything, but you know, I got the job done. So I'll give it a passing grade. I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
Cool.
I thought I'm like, you know, I'm actually really glad you chose this, because it was just fun, and like, you know, with all the, you know, fond wrestling memories I have, like it was cool to go back to that, and yeah, I had a fun time with it.
Cool. Glad you liked it. Rome, what would you rank it?
Well, so I don't have necessarily the nostalgic attachment to it, because I didn't really watch wrestling and stuff. But it's almost hard. I see what you're saying, Ian. Like, it's hard to grade it, because, you know, like, for what it is, it's fine. Yeah.
I don't think we've really done a movie like this either.
No, I
Usually
don't
we
think
do more
so.
serious action films.
Yeah, right.
maybe
This is
horror.
very like
Yeah.
slapstick almost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
slapstick for sure. Yeah.
And I think when you said toilet humor, that's definitely like, how many times did he say like butt, you know, and like, you know, were they calling each other like butt breath and stuff or
Yeah,
something?
like that.
You know, all in
yeah.
that. So anyway, yeah, I don't think that necessarily like aged too well. And so I had never seen this before. Watching it now, it didn't make me laugh that much. I've actually laughed a lot more talking about it today. Maybe it's because I appreciated it more after like a viewing, but like when I was watching, I was pretty like stone faced the whole time. And I got like a couple like, you know, and it sort of dragged. I thought parts of it like in the middle maybe of the movie.
Yeah.
But you know, it was still like entertaining. Definitely. I mean, I had a good time watching it. It's kind of like there were no big laughs, but I just kind of had like the amusement going through the whole thing. A lot of the humor definitely did fall flat, though. I felt like, you know, like some of the jokes, I'm just like, oh, I could have seen that coming.
Yeah, exactly. Like kind of, again, cliche. In a way.
Yeah, cliche.
I think I was showing Sam a little bit of it, and she said, "Wait, she's coming on to him. Is he about to actually show her a wrestling move instead of like show
Yeah,
her
right,
yeah.
of course.
moves?"
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
Foreign objects. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
What
it's like
sex that must have been.
it's like you're subverting expectations almost,
Right.
but like you're not, because like I think everybody watching it knows, or at least nowadays
Yeah.
knows, like, oh, he's just gonna really like throw her, and of course he really does.
I kind of saw her like being in cahoots with the Joe
for sure.
Pantoliano
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, the storyline
It's
itself.
like, why is she so interested in this dude? It's like, come
Yeah,
on.
of
Like,
course.
you know.
She's like, you're so masculine.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah, the storyline itself is like whatever. I felt like it was more of just a vessel to get the humor in, the comedy.
Mm.
But yeah, no, overall, like I still enjoyed watching it. I definitely enjoyed talking about it, and it was kind of cool to see. Like it's a bit of a relic.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely.
Like I said, it's very of its time.
Especially technology-wise, like when the redheads play in the arcade,
Right.
Jimmy the King video game.
That looked like a fucking
true,
virtual
yeah.
fighter or something. I was like, man, those graphics are yeesh.
And then he's like hacking the computer, but it's like a super old website from the early 2000s.
Yeah,
And
that
the
was
laptop
great.
he's
That was
using,
great.
the MacBook, like we had a desktop version of that. These fucking wacky ass colored Mac Apple computers.
Yeah.
That brought back memories
Yeah,
too.
seeing the Shermanator.
Yeah, and even seeing the Shermanator, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, and he's hacking on that like
Yeah.
old computer keyboard and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I think overall, I'd probably put it at like a 2. Like I don't know when I'll rewatch it. You know,
Right.
But
Yeah.
like, I would recommend it to certain people. You
Yeah.
know, like my friend who loves the movie The Waterboy.
Yeah.
And Little Nicky, which came out this year, same year. Like, I'll be like, oh, have you seen Ready to Rumble? Because I know he's a wrestling fan. He probably has seen it, you know. And I would enjoy a conversation about it with him, you know. So it's not like it wasn't a waste of my time or anything like that. It's not a 1-star movie. But, yeah, I would say about 2 stars. Because I just also think this type of humor is, again, maybe it's because I'm older now, but it's just not really necessarily my kind of humor, you know. A lot of it.
Yeah.
And again, I don't have that wrestling connection.
Right.
Definitely.
So
Yeah.
the most connected I was when David Arquette was like screaming his balls off, and I was just kind of like, oh, this I've seen, you know, like I've met people like this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah, 2 out of 5, but still a good time.
Nice.
Yeah.
As for me, with nostalgia glasses on, this one's like through the roof. It's like past a 5.
6 out of 5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because like
there
you
you
guys are saying, you know, all the wrestlers and all.
Yeah.
We talked about the soundtrack, all the different songs coming through. The technology, so cool to see how far we've come technology wise.
Yeah.
But you know, yeah, and I was saying like I could still quote this one with my family and stuff because this was so funny when we were little kids. But after rewatching it, definitely gotta agree with you guys around that. I think I'd put it around a 3.5
Okay.
out of 5 for this one. Some of the toilet humor, I think I might have grown out of it.
Yeah.
It's almost disgusting at this point.
Yeah.
To where I'm almost turned off from
That's
it.
they tipped the septic tank. I forgot about this.
Yes.
And then like all the raw sewage goes, and then like David Arquette says it reminds him of French toast.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
that-
he's like, it smells like French toast. Smells like French toast and shit.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like,
That one did not hit this time.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
And then
it's
the
like
toilet
that's-
paper
again,
coming
it's-
after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god,
It's
I
just
forgot
goofy,
about that.
you know.
Yeah, it's just kind of like,
Yeah.
you know.
But yeah, I still get chills from Jimmy the King's theme playing. I still Jimmy the King might be one of my favorite wrestlers, and he's not even a real wrestler in real life.
He's the king,
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
Jimmy the
What
King.
would the king do?
Yeah, Arquette's performance came off as way wacky this time around.
Yeah.
I liked Sean's performance. You know, Ian also pointing out the fact that a lot of these jokes are from like mall rats and stuff. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
a little
that kind of
derivative-
changes my
derivative.
perspective a little bit.
Dumb and Dumbery. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's a good movie, but I think I might have outgrown it.
Yeah.
For sure.
I could see that.
Yeah. So 3.5 for me,
Nice.
guys.
One thing, like, it didn't piss me off. There was not a part in this movie where I was just like pissed off, and I like that. That's
Were you
why.
like annoyed with it?
Not really. I mean,
Okay.
sure, some of it was, but it's like that's why I was like, it did make me laugh. And again, the objectiveness. I'm like, okay, what is this movie supposed to do? It made me laugh, and it didn't piss me off. So I was like, I got to give it a passing grade.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
but that's just me. But
No, I like that. That makes sense. Yeah, and then seeing all the other wrestlers is cool too, of course.
yeah, oh yeah, blast from the past for sure.
Yeah. I'm glad I could trick you guys into watching this one though.
I'm glad you did, dude. And
Got
thank
you
you for
guys.
letting us.
Point
use
of the
your Vudu
podcast.
account. Seriously, like I that's
It's
what I
all been-
like. Again, I'd never seen it. You know, it was cool seeing something new
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, that's
Like-
that's another reason I picked it. You guys
Yeah.
haven't seen it.
So I thought this was a good choice on your part.
New but like familiar, you know.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
Yeah. I think it's just sort of destined to be dated, you know, like
Oh,
with
for
that
sure.
combination of everything.
For sure.
But being that about a movie about wrestling, you know.
Again,
How
like
could you not?
I can't remember if we brought that. It's very niche it's a niche market now. It seems almost, even like almost back then. I mean, like WCW was not, like we talked about, was not doing well.
Yeah.
And this movie did not do well at all.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's sometimes maybe it might be kind of hard to pinpoint its audience, but
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching this one with me.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really
of course.
appreciate being able to talk to somebody
yeah,
about it.
yeah, I know how you feel. That's kind of how I felt about Last Boy Scout a little bit. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might be throwing some quotes at you guys later
Yeah.
on when I see you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
But we actually chose our next movie if you guys wanted to follow along and watch for next weekend. What are we going to be watching, Ron?
Oh man, I forgot the title of it. It's the new Guillermo del Toro movie that just came out. It's a remake of a 50s movie, Nightmare Alley. Yeah, I don't know too much about it. It's got Bradley Cooper in it.
Yeah,
Kate
Rocket
Blanchett.
Raccoon.
I see Willem Dafoe's in it a little
Oh
bit.
wow.
Ooh, William
Yeah,
Dafoe's good.
Rooney Mara. It's got Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
You know, good little
Makes sense.
cast going on.
Yeah.
So I don't know too much about it.
I don't
but,
really. I just know it takes place like around a carnival.
Yeah, it just looks interesting
Yeah.
visually and stuff. So
Yeah.
That
Definitely.
one is actually streaming on HBO Max right now if you guys want to watch that one. But you might still be able to find it in theaters. Guillermo del Toro actually re-released it on black and white film. I saw it in black and
Interesting.
white at Tower Theater. Ooh,
Oh, wow.
Have you seen the color
beautiful.
one yet?
I actually started watching it on
Oh, okay.
HBO, and it's like a totally different movie
Wow.
for me.
That's cool.
that's cool.
There's so many colors in that movie.
I
I was
bet.
like, whoa.
Yeah.
A lot of
That's
reds,
cool.
a lot of yellows. Whoa.
Heck
That's
yeah.
really cool.
But
Yeah.
black and white, if you watch it, you can actually focus on the lighting and how Guillermo del Toro uses lighting on people's faces. And
That's
stuff.
super
Yeah,
cool.
because I noticed like a lot of stuff with shadows and stuff in the little bit I saw. Even just looking at the cover, you know,
Mhm.
it's like all black and white almost.
Yeah.
Even without being black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Nightmare Alley.
Cool. All right. Nightmare Alley, guys.
Yep.
Get ready.
Yeah.
Yep. And now we put this movie here in the books.
Yes.
Yes.
Ready to
Another one
rumble.
done.
Goes up on the shelf.
Yep. Exactly. One for the books.
All right.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you guys.